Hey all, I am doing a quick video for you on this medical necessity assignment. Some of you probably have heard the term medical necessity before in healthcare reimbursement, meaning if anything is going to be reimbursed in healthcare, we need to prove medical necessity through documentation from the physicians as well as our coding when we submit that to the insurance company. So, Medicare has a database and they publish what they are going to cover. Basically, if you're having a procedure done, we will only cover it if you have certain diagnosis codes. And they publish these, their requirements. They're called NCDs and LCDs. You will become familiar with these no matter what area you're in HIM. So national coverage determination and local coverage determinations. So what I have done for you, this right here is the assignment. I just typed up a few notes. These are just my own notes that I'll go through with you. But these LCDs, NCDs, these are publications that are used to clarify any coverage and coding that is going to support medical necessity. Way back when I was a coder at Gunderson, these used to be paper documents that we would route around our department. Now, thankfully, they are all done. It's all easily accessible online. If you are a biller for Medicare or really anything in general, you know, our rule of thumb used to be if Medicare covers it, a third-party payer will cover it. So we were constantly checking the LCDs and NCD policies for correct billing and payment. So of course, these policies exist on CMS. This just gives you some direction on how the database works, which I'll show you. The NCDs are for national coverage. It's a policy on whether Medicare will cover an item or a service and under what conditions. If there is no LCD, you can resort to the local coverage determinations. Remember that every part of the state, all over the nation, there are going to be regions basically assigned, and those are assigned to a MAC, all right, and every region is a little bit different as far as Medicare coverage, but there are local coverage determinations, and I'm going to show you guys the website in a little bit. All right, I'm going to get back here. Whoops. Okay, so in the PAT where I have all the directions here, I have the website for you, so you can just control and then it will link for you. It's actually a really cool website. There's so many different things that you can do with it, and I put some directions for you right here as far as different ways to use the Medicare Coverage Database website. But you're going to be using this area over here, the quick search. So if you have, I'm having you guys do just a few different searches just to familiarize yourself with how these look. So we are going to be looking at the database. We're going to look at both national and local coverage using the keyword diabetes. And we're going to look in all states for the geographic region. So let's do our first search. All right, we are here, national and local. We are going to select all states, and our keyword that we are going to enter is diabetes. Okay, here is our search. Okay. Here are all the NCDs. This is just the numbers, the section, and then the title. So this is the national. Here's some analysis, the NCAs. Technology assessments. Some more articles. And here's where we have, at the bottom usually, is where it is LCD. So what I'm asking you, be careful when you're reading my directions. Do I want you looking at an LCD or an NCD? So here's the specific number, L35132. And here is that LCD ID number. This is for home health. So monitoring glucose control in the Medicare home health population. Some of you might bill for home health. We've had a couple students in the program that have been home health billers. I know some of you went to your practicum in the home health area, so it certainly applies. I don't know why this is not accepting here. And indicate. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. I was having a little technical difficulty, but I got it to work. So here's the LCD that I have referenced for you. It is the LCD regarding diabetes. Here's the number, L35132. So this is just, you don't have to read through all that. But here is where the meat is right here. The indications, the limitations, and then what's going to prove medical necessity. So this is what you read through to answer your required questions. You can see here, it talks a little bit about revenue codes, which we learned in reimbursement. Here are all the ICD-10 codes that are going to cover this particular code. And you can see the length is quite long. Here's some documentation requirements and a few other websites to answer, or I'm sorry, to look at. It's a fairly new policy, so it was recently updated in October. So just to give you a feel for what this looks like, this database holds a lot of important information. You can do this as a PDF, you can email the record, whatever you want. So here's the LCD, and then you need to answer all of the questions that I have along with this. All right? So for step 2, again, here are my filters I'm asking you. National and local coverage. Use the keyword colonoscopy, geographic area of Minnesota. All right? There's the LCD you're going to find and answer the questions. You're not going to break this. Do your best. What it is exposure to this database that you certainly will be using. And so when you get out on your practicums or in the real world and they say, oh, I noticed that the NCD is stating that it doesn't cover this diagnosis for a B12 shot, you're going to know what they're talking about. So hopefully this very simple exercise helps you, educates you, and prepares you for information that's coming. The last step here, I'm going to let you do, freestyle here. Use the database to research a diagnosis, procedure, or lab that you want to know about. Okay. It took me a little while actually to find one that I wanted to know about because I kept finding so many that did not have a LCD or an NCD. So do your best on this. And obviously, if you don't have any additional comments, you don't have to add any. But have some fun with this. It's interesting to see how Medicare works. Right out of school, when I graduated from CBTC, I got hired at Gunderson as a Medicare coder for outpatient billing. I got very familiar with these coverage determinations very quickly. I found myself almost every morning coming into work and finding a new handout on my desk. Now we are lucky enough that these are all available through a database. So it's going to be easy lookup for you guys. So when you're all done, you can put it in a Word document, answer those questions, and put it to the Dropbox. If you have any questions, let me know.